Welcome students to my commerce class. I'll explain to you the second chapter, nature and objectives of business. In the previous chapter we had done three categories of economic activities. One of them was business. You had marked the meaning of business. Again, you mark the meaning of business here also in the introductory paragraph. What is business if asked? Then you will answer like this. Line number 2. Business includes all those economic activities which are concerned with the production and exchange of goods and services with the aim of earning money. There are a few definitions given in your book on page 15. Define business if asked, then you will quote the first definition which is given by L.H. Haney, which says business may be defined as a human activity directed towards producing or acquiring wealth through buying and selling of goods. Whenever you are quoting the definition, it should be word to word same. Hardly a word if missing, no problem, but any word or line or phrase change, the answer will be marked wrong. Then we have characteristics or features of business. First, second, third, fourth and fifth. The first feature says creation of utilities. Business makes goods more useful to satisfy human wants. It adds time, place, form and possession utilities to various types of goods. The second last sentence of that paragraph, it carries goods from place of surplus to the place of scarcity. It is called place utility, that is goods are being transported from the place of production to the place of consumption. It makes goods available for use in future through storage. Goods may be stored in warehouses, storehouses, which may be made available throughout the year. There are certain products which are produced seasonally, especially the fruits and vegetables, which are produced seasonally but are made available throughout the year. Thus, they are to be stored in warehouses, creating time utility. Whenever they demand it, they are made available. Dealings in goods and services, the second feature. Every business enterprise produces and or purchases goods and services for selling them to others. Goods may be consumer goods or producer goods. You may be asked separately, what are consumer goods? What are producer goods? So you may mark the answer. Consumer goods are those goods which are meant for direct use by the consumers. For example, bread, tea, shoes, etc. Producer goods are used for production of consumer or capital goods such as raw materials, machinery, etc. What are services? Services like transportation, warehousing, banking, insurance, etc. may be called as intangible and invisible goods. Intangible means which you cannot see and feel, but you are availing the services and in return you are giving them some money. There was one term used in the first point called possession utilities. You may write the answer in your book. I will call out the answer. Possession utilities means when goods are purchased by consumers for ultimate consumption. Next feature we have continuity in dealings. Dealings in goods and services become business only if undertaken on a regular basis, recurring nature, repetitively. Line number 4. If a person sells his old scooter or car, it is not called business, though the seller gets money in exchange. But he opens a shop and sells scooters or cars regularly, it will be called a business. Thus, regularity of dealings is an essential feature of business. Next feature we have sale, transfer or exchange. All business activities involve transfer or exchange of goods and services for some consideration or in return some money. The consideration called price, cost, is usually expressed in terms of money. Line number 4. If a person cooks and serves food for his family, it is not a business. But when he cooks food and sells it to others for a price, it becomes business. Profit motive, the next last feature. The main objective of business is to earn profits. No businessman will conduct or carry on business operation without the motive of earning some profit, some money, extra money in return. Profits are essential for the survival as the growth of business. It must be earned through legal and fair means. Business should never exploit the society to make money by fraudulent or manipulation means. Next we have the necessity or reasons why should there be a business. The first 5: to remove the poverty of a country. The economic development of a country depends upon the growth of business. Industry, trade and other business activities generate wealth and add to the national income of a country. To generate employment. Next reason, the number of persons who seek jobs is rapidly increasing. In a country like India, agriculture sector is already overburdened and unemployment has become a serious problem. Business offers employment to millions of people. Third, to improve the standard of living. Business helps to increase the purchasing power of people. That is, when they get employment, when they get income, they are in a position to buy more goods, more products, more comfort for themselves, thus increasing their standard of living. It provides them a wide range of products and services to satisfy human wants. Third last line, people can enjoy new and better products to improve their living standards. Fourth reason for business, to earn foreign exchange. That is, a country may produce goods to export them to other countries and earn some money in return, some foreign exchange. A country cannot produce everything needed by its people. It has to import certain items for which foreign currency is required. Business helps to earn foreign exchange through exports. It helps to reduce the pressure on the country's balance of payments and enables a nation to achieve economic independence. To promote social welfare, the last need, business can enrich human life and establish a better society. In the course of business activities, people belonging to different religions, castes and regions come to one another. Business dealings between nations provide socially useful, culturally desirable and politically significant movement amongst people. Business assists the community in public health, education, and other socially useful programs. Then we have objectives of business, purpose of business. Every business enterprise has certain objectives. We have economic objectives, social objectives, human objectives, national objectives. Now you may be asked to write a short note on each. So following points, you mark them in your book on page 19. The first one is economic objectives. You will quote the definition or meaning first, and then you explain the features of each. Business is basically an economic activity, therefore its primary objectives are economic in nature. The first feature of economic objective is earning profits. Now the sole aim of every businessman is to earn profit. Line number 2, profit is the essential for the survival of every business unit. Just as a person cannot live without food, a business firm cannot survive without profit. Profit is necessary for the expansion and growth of business. Second economic objective is creating customers. That is, a businessman or a business can flourish only when there are people who will purchase the goods for consumption. So we have 7th line, no business can succeed without providing customers value for their money. Business exists to satisfy the wants, taste and preferences of customers. In order to earn profit, business must supply better quality of goods and services at reasonable prices. Therefore, creation satisfaction of customers is an economic activity of business. We have the third objective of business, innovations. In these days of competition, a business can be successful only when it creates new designs, better machines, improved techniques, new varieties, etc. Modern science and technology have created a great scope for innovation in the business world. Innovation is not confined to the invention of a new machine. It involves improvements in management, production, selling, servicing, methods of personnel. Personnel means people who are recruited or given jobs, and accounting, that is the various methods of maintaining accounts. Then we have the second objective of business called social objectives. It is a part of society. It cannot survive and grow without the full support of society. Business must therefore discharge social responsibilities in addition to earning profits. The first objective is supplying desired goods at reasonable prices. That is, business is expected to supply the goods and services which are demanded or required by the society. Goods and services should be of good quality, and these should be supplied at reasonable prices to suit the pockets of every status of people. Second objective is fair remuneration to employees. That is, people who are working in employment must be given a fair compensation, consideration, salary, wages for their work. In addition to wages and salary, a reasonable part of profits, that is in the form of bonus, should be distributed among the workers or employees in recognition of their contributions. Such sharing of profits will help to increase to motivation and efficiency of the employees. Last sentence, it is a duty of every employer to provide hygienic working and living conditions for their workers. Third objective, employment generation. Business must provide opportunities for gainful employment to members of the society. In a country like India, employment has become a serious problem and the government is unable to offer jobs to all. Therefore, sufficient provision must be made and full employment opportunities must be given by business organizations. Fourth objective, fair return to investor. Business is expected to pay fair return to shareholders in the form of dividends and creditors and in the form of interest. Investors also expect safety and appreciations of their investment. That means any person who has made investments must get extra return in the form of interest. They should be kept well informed about the financial health and future prospects of the business. And fifth objective is payment of government dues. Every business enterprise should pay taxes which becomes due in the name of income tax, sales tax, excise duty, custom duty to the government honestly and at the right time. These direct and indirect taxes provide revenue to the government for spending on public welfare, such as on construction of roads, bridges, canals, government buildings. Business should also abide faithfully by the laws of the country. Then we have the third type of objective of business, human objectives. Business is run by people and for the people. Labor is a valuable human element in business. The features are labor welfare. Business must recognize the dignity of labor. Proper opportunities should be given for utilizing individual talents and satisfying aspirations of workers. Sufficient provision must be made for their health, safety and social security in the name of provident fund, insurance. It may be individual insurance or it may be group insurance, pension schemes, etc. Then second objective is developing human resources. Employees must be provided the opportunities for developing new skills and attitudes by giving them training time to time. Business can facilitate self-development of workers by encouraging, motivating creativity and innovation among them. Development of skilled manpower is necessary for the economic development of the country. Then participative management, the third objective of human objective. Employees should be allowed to take part in decision making process of the business. This will help in the development of employees. Such participation will also provide valuable information to the management for improving the quality of decision making. Workers' participation in management will usher in industrial democracy. Fourth objective is labor management cooperation. Business should strive for creating and maintaining cordial relation between the employer and the employee so as to ensure peace and progress in industry. Employees should be treated as honorable individuals and should be kept well informed. The last objective of business is national objectives. The first one, optimum utilization of resources. Business should use the nation's resources in the best possible manner. Business should produce goods in accordance with national priorities, national importance, and in the interest of the nation. It should minimize the wastage of scarce ability of natural resources. Second, national self-reliance. It is a duty of business to help the government in increasing exports and in reducing dependence on imports. That is, purchasing of goods should be reduced from other countries and selling of their domestic goods to other countries to earn more foreign exchange. This will help a country to achieve economic independence. This requires development of new technology and its application in industries. Third, we have development of small scale industries. Big business firms are expected to encourage, motivate growth of small scale industries which are necessary for generating employment. Small scale firms can be developed as ancillaries, feeders, which provide inputs to large scale industries. They are also known as cottage industries. Development of backward areas. Business is expected to give preference to the industrialization of backward regions of the country. Balanced regional development is necessary for peace and progress in the country. It will also help to raise the standard of living in backward areas by setting up factories, making houses for them, providing electricity and all other facilities. Government offers special incentives to businessmen who set up factories in notified backward areas or rural areas where private hands do not want to interfere. Control over pollution. Rapid industrialization has resulted in air, water and noise pollution. Business is responsible for reducing the adverse effect of business on the quality of life. It must make proper arrangement for the disposal of smoke, effluents, waste, etc. to protect the health and life of people, animals and birds. Then we have the next topic, role of profit in business. Since profit earning is essential in business, the following points should be kept in mind. Incentive. Profit is the driving force behind every business. That is, every businessman is motivated to start a business, to bear the risk, to earn profits in future. It inspires people to start an enterprise or business enterprise and to work hard for making it successful. Profit is the reward for undertaking the risk or losses of business. Second reason is survival. Profit is essential, necessary for the survival, for the existence of business, and it ensures the continuity, regularity of an enterprise. With the help of profits, business can replace obsolete, outdated machinery and equipment and thereby maintain its capacity to produce more goods and earn more money, wealth. Profits help business to face trade cycles and other shocks. Third, growth. Profit is the biggest source of capital for expansion and growth of business. In addition, profits enable business to attract capital from outside. That means we have investors, people who invest in the business, Thus, capitalization takes place. More capital, more purchase of goods, more purchase of assets to run the business. Fourth, measure of efficiency. Profit is measured as index of success in business. People judge the performance of an enterprise on the basis of profits earned by it. At the end of every year, when a balance is prepared of a firm, all investors, all people are interested to know that which firm has earned more profit during the year, and accordingly their goods are more in demand. Fifth reason to earn a profit: prestige and recognition. A loss-making business enjoys no goodwill. Goodwill means by their hard work they have earned a reputation, a good name in the market. It is called goodwill, and thus they earn higher profits due to its good name in the market. It is called goodwill. Profits provide economic power and status to businessmen. Higher profits increase the bargaining strength and creditworthiness of business. Creditworthiness of business means that they may take loan from the bank or financial institutions by keeping their assets as security. The lender knows that the businessman will be able to repay the money on time. Moreover, only a profit-making business can provide service to society. That's all for today.